Hi everyone, welcome back to Abra Knowledge channel. Today we are going to discuss all about z-value, outlier, shape of a dataset, skewness, kurtosis. There are three examples which we are going to discuss today, and more importantly, and this topic will be done in Excel as well as the values already been taken from the Minitab also as well. And it is very useful topic because the core aspect of statistic is going to get covered, and this will be very useful even if you are pursuing statistic study or when you do any green belt, black belt or master black belt. This video will be very handy in order to interpret the data, in order to interpret the value as such. Let's talk about what is there in the data set. This is my input which is there in column A, 7 4 9 7 3 12. The same thing what it is done is there are 12 parameters we're going to discuss, starting from mean, basic, mean, median, mode, range, variance, standard deviation, followed by coefficient of variance, right? Z square and the score, we are going to talk about it. Any outlier is there, how to find out that one, that we are going to talk about it. And particularly that z score is, we are going to find out, there is a formula to it. Again, we can just find it out. Shape of a data set and skewness, and the curve in the previous video I talked about it, skewness, and that also we're gonna do it. And kurtosis also we're going to do it. So as you can see here, all these with the formula, right? The same thing you can also get to learn from the Minitab also as well. Let's talk about this one. So the mean, in this case the average of all of these data set is 7, right? So 7 is the average, and median is also happen to be the same thing, and mode is 7 because two times the 7 is being repeated. And range formula, so maximum minus minimum, so maximum minus minimum, so in this case maximum is 12, minus minimum is 3, right? 12 minus 3 is 9. And variance has a formula, variance dot s, because it will eliminate the text and all that. So a3 into a, this is the data set I have, so 10.8. Standard deviation, once again, the formula is standard deviation dot s, you will get this value. Or if I can also quickly demonstrate to you also as well, you can put equal to it and standard, and this is generally the formula which you can use it is this one. So it ignores the logical value or text if it comes in between, right? And then you can select this array and then give okay. So 3.29 we have got it. And coefficient of variance, so this has always been measured in percentage, so 46 percentage. And let's talk about z score. Z score formula is very simple formula, and minus x bar divided by standard deviation. What is x here? X is 7 minus x bar. X mean and x bar are same. Mean we can say, or x bar we can say, both are the same value, and divided by the standard deviation. So let me do it this one more time, and you can give equal to it, x minus x bar divided by standard deviation. Standard deviation is this value. You can give okay. So there is a test to it, and the value is less than or equal to 3. That means no outlier. If it is greater than 3, there is outlier exists in the bell curve, whether it is a positive or negative, right? So in this case, you can find it like there is no value which is gone beyond 3, whether it's plus 3 or minus 3. So therefore, the logic what we have is no outlier exists. So now we can come back and say z score value, this is the z square value, which is there in column D. And any outlier? No, there is no outlier because there is no plus 3 or minus 3. Okay, next question. And no, and then shape of a data. So now in this case, particularly in this case, the mean and median are same. If the mean and median are same, what happens is it is called symmetrical, right? So it's a symmetrical one. That means the curve is same. Let me give you an example. So in this, take an example of this one. This is the mean, and exactly you can see that the distribution is half and half in the both the side, right? There is no skewness. That is called symmetrical. It has been distributed almost 50-50 percentage, right? So this is the reason it's called symmetrical. Symmetrical is being said when mean and median is equal to same. So there is still, there will be, if you do that skew formula, still there will be small skewness, right? Because 100% zero, it is very, very difficult to get it. There is skewness. So that the skewness is still under the limit. So it can uh, 0.36 is a skewness. So the first skewness formula is, for example, let's say you can give equal to skew, and then you can give the numbers. These are all the numbers, and you can give okay. And kurtosis is something like from the peak value to the mean or the shape. So what is that one? It is negative. If it is a point minus 38, if it is been negative, well, is called platykurtic. It says it is a technical name to it. It's platykurtic. If the value is the, if the value is on the positive side, right, are greater than 0, the positive side is called lipokurtic. So this is the two name it has given. Platykurtic is says if the value is negative or 0 or negative value, and if it is positive or greater than positive value, it's called lipokurtic. So now let's talk about in the one which is there in the red bordered data. So this is coming from the histogram which you already saw. This is coming from Minitab, and we can also compare the value in the Minitab also as well, like descriptive statistics. So I have already done it. So mean, you can see 7, standard deviation is 3.29, that is matching. Variance is 10.8, that is matching. Coefficient of variance, that is 46.95, this is always been measured in percentage. Median is 7, and range is 9, and skewness is we got the same value 0.36. Kurtosis we got the same value, the same thing which is we have got in Excel as well as Minitab. Let's talk about the outlier test in Minitab. We can do it with the help of grub method, and in outlier test we can do it. And this one is actually like, again we can do it like in this case no outlier is being found. We can also get the value, the p value, grub value, we can find our p value. From there it also gives a note, no outlier at the percentage 5% level of significance, like this. The same thing quickly we can do it in Minitab also as well. So this is the example number one, and the basic statistic we can find it, display descriptive statistic, and I'm taking the one, and all these value like mean, standard deviation, variance, coefficient of variance, and then you have a median and range, skewness, kurtosis, and all that. Give okay, give okay. So you got the curve and you got the value, exactly the same value we got in Excel also as well. And there is something I talked about, the outlier test, right? So in the basic statistic you can go to outlier test, and then the same thing you can example number one, and you can give okay, and then you got this value also in the descriptive, and in the shape also we have got it. For example, let's say in this case minimum is 3, maximum is 12, g value, grub value is 1.52, p value is 0.5, right? So in this no outlier exists, right? So that's what it we can conclude. Let's talk about the similar example. Let's talk about second data set. Second, again I have a data set, there are 5, n equal to 5, and again I need to find out all these value. All you need to do is the same formula I'm going to apply. So in this case, like mean is 2, median is 7, and mode is 7 because 7 is being repeated 2 times. Range maximum minus minimum. Variance you have, and this variance, after that you have standard deviation and coefficient of variance, and square the z score value you got, that we are going to do it same thing like x minus x bar divided by standard deviation, so that you will get it. So for example, let me do it one more time. X minus x bar, that is mean is called x bar, and then standard deviation. So there is a rule and there is a logic to it. If the value is 3 plus 3 or minus 3 and above it, then it is called outlier. That means it is outlier exists. And if it is lesser than that, there is no outlier exists. And even we can find it out using the Excel also as well, right? The similar exercise being done. So then we concluded that there is no outlier exists and it is left skewed. You can see here, this is the shape of the bell curve and histogram. Here you can see this is the mean value. That mean is 2. This is the 2 and it has been left skewed. Why it is left skewed? How we are saying it is left skewed? By the shape we can get to know, or by the value also we can get to know. How we can get to know? By the value. So if you see here, there are two ways to find out. Either you can say that if the left is skewed, any chart is left skewed, the mean, right? So mean and median will be greater. So in this case, mean is smaller than median. That means the left is skewed. Similarly, if it is on the other side, if the mean is greater than median, in this case the mean is 6.67, 7.67, and the median is 7. So right, so the mean is greater than median. In this case we can say that it is positive skewed, or right side is skewed. So in this case we can conclude that it is left side. That is one way to find. Another way to find, simply can give skew, find out the formula of skew, and if the value is negative, it's called negative skew. As simple as that. That is also very easy to find. You just need to give skew and find out these value, have this all this array, and then so in this case minus value we got. Now we talk about sometime you also need to know the kurtosis value also as well. Again in this case we got the kurtosis value is negative, and there is a rule, if the value is less equal to or less than 0, 0 or equal to 0, less than or equal to 0, then it is called plate platykurtic. If the value is positive, right, and greater than or equal to 0, then is called lipocortic. That you can see here. In this case the value is, the kurtosis value is 1.28, then it is called lipocortic, right? So let's go back in this case. So in this case we got the value of the bell curve we got, and we got the exactly the same thing, same value we got in Excel also as well. Mean is matching, standard deviation 7.87, variance is 62, and coefficient of variance is 393 percentage, and standard deviation, I mean median is equal to 7, range equal to 17, skewness is minus 0.64, and kurtosis equal to minus 278. And then we did it outlier test, and outlier test it says that there is no outlier exists, right? And the last example which we're gonna see is the example number 3. Example number 3, again it has a data. In this data, again based on this formula, all these value gets calculated automatically. And in this case white is said right skew, because the mean value is greater than median. And the skewness, you can see that the other way to find the one is positive value, you got it, that mean positive skew, right? Kurtosis value we got it, and so this value we got it greater than or equal to 0, then is called lipocortic, right? And the same thing has been done with the the outlier test been done, and there is no value, there is no outlier is being found. So in this case there are three things being covered in three example. Example number 1 is being covered with the symmetric, meaning in this case mean is equal to median. And the second example which we talked about, negatively skewed or left skewed, the skewness value we got minus. The last example where we got that positive skewed or rightly skewed, that mean value is lesser than median value, right? Our mean value is greater than, median. That's what is the positive skew, right? And in other words, the value also you will get it 0.54, that is positive value. That means we can conclude that is a positive skewed as such. So this is what in the previous video I talked about, symmetrical left skewed and positive skewed. The same thing is being demonstrated with the values also as well. I hope you enjoyed this video and covering up all the critical or core or advanced statistic things, and I will be making much more in the practical example of this one, what is skewness, how to read the shape of the bell curve and all that. Please stay tuned. Please do like, share, subscribe my channel. You have a wonderful day ahead.